Welcome to Simply Excel. In this video we're going to look at how to hide rows, columns and sheets in your spreadsheet. Before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel for more Excel tips. Now let's get on with the tutorial. You might want to hide data in your spreadsheet for a number of reasons. Most common would be that you have some data that you want to retain, but you don't actually want to display it because it makes your spreadsheet a bit less readable. For example, our closing ceremony date, we might want to retain that data and not delete it, but hide that column just so our table looks a bit neater. All we need to do is come up to our column, right click and select Hide from the menu. We can now tell that there's a hidden column because our column headers go from E to G and F is missing. And there's also a slightly thicker line between the two columns. You may have noticed the Unhide option on our menu when we selected Hide, so you might think that you could right click on this column, unhide and get that column back, but you'll see it hasn't reappeared. So what you need to do to unhide your column is highlight the columns either side of it, so E and G in this case, then right click on either of those columns and select Unhide, and we get our closing ceremony date back. It works in exactly the same way for rows. So if we want to hide row 4 for example, again we right click and hide, and you'll see our row numbers go now from 3 to 5 and we have that thicker line between those two rows. And to unhide we highlight and unhide again. If we hid multiple rows, which we can do by pressing Ctrl and selecting multiple rows, and also if we hid a couple of columns, the quickest way then to unhide several items at once is to click in the top left here to select our entire spreadsheet, and then if we right click on any column header and select Unhide, it will unhide all our columns, but you'll see that's left our rows hidden. So to unhide the rows, we'd need to right click on a row and select Unhide there. And you'll see that's unhidden all our rows now. We can also hide and unhide sheets. For example, I've got a standing data sheet in my spreadsheet, which is linked to a dynamic drop down here. And maybe I just don't want any other users to know that sheet's there and accidentally change it or delete the data in it, so my drop down then fails. So I can right click on my standing data tab and select Hide. And now if any other user comes into this workbook, they won't know that that sheet's there, and they can't inadvertently make changes to it. And to unhide worksheets, I just click on one of the tabs at the bottom, select Unhide. What this does, it gives me a list of all the sheets that are hidden. So you can see I've got 5 sheets hidden here, and I can select one, all, or a selection of those. For example, if we take standing data and merging, say OK, we get our 2 tabs that we've just selected. I hope you found this quick introduction to hiding and unhiding data in your spreadsheet useful. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more Excel tips. Thanks for watching.